I'm Anne Loxley. Since January 2011, I've been working at the Museum of Contemporary Art as curator of the C3 West program. I have been working in Western Sydney since 1996, starting with a public art project for the Green Valley Community Centre. And I have curated shows for Casula Powerhouse. I worked for a time at Campbelltown Art Centre. I was director of the Penrith Regional Gallery for a time. I've also written a lot as a journalist, and I have written about shows in Western Sydney a lot because I've found there's a lot of great stuff that happens in Western Sydney. To contextualise Western Sydney for people who aren't from Sydney, I'll try and stick to some simple facts because it is kind of contentious. But I think it's fair to say that historically it's been a place for cheaper housing, and so migrants tend to gravitate towards Western Sydney. We have a history, that's where most of our public housing estates started: Mount Druitt, Claymore, Minto, Ayres. So there's this reality of it being a place where usually our migrant communities settle, and people wanting a bigger house for better price. So that's some kind of real estate parameters. Socially, it means it's very culturally diverse. And why I was worried when David Capra said he wanted to do an issue of Das Superpaper on Western Sydney is that I know that Western Sydney and its art scene and its art history is a bigger topic than one issue of Das Superpaper. It's probably a set of encyclopedia. If you're talking as a good arts administrator, you would say there's serious infrastructure problems for the arts in Western Sydney, and there are. And we have our state arts department, the New South Wales Ministry for the Arts. In fact, it was very much spearheaded by Jenny Bissett, who's now the director of Blacktown Arts Centre, the Western Sydney Arts Strategy, which did an awful lot to redress some of the significant arts infrastructure inequities in Western Sydney, but there's still a way to go in terms of that. So there's an ongoing kind of fight and an awareness of the resource tightness around the arts. And then let's get really serious and talk about the other real infrastructure issues in Western Sydney. Let's talk about public transport. Let's talk about basic services. There are too many areas in Western Sydney where basic infrastructure, the sort of thing that will make for a happy community, is just not there. So there's those infrastructure lacks which are real and make the situation juicy and complicated. And then there's all the really great stuff of all that. People that are coming here from other countries who haven't got a lot of money, a lot of them gravitate there. So there's this amazing cultural diversity in Western Sydney. Then we've had the other wonderful phenomenon of the flourishing of the University of Western Sydney, where you've had some of the best artists in Australia teaching these clever young things. And so we've had amazing artists come out of Western Sydney and continue to come out of Western Sydney. So there's this wonderful richness. It's complex, it's big, and some of our best artists have come from Western Sydney, and they deserve to be treated with the rigour and preciousness that their work warrants. And there's a lot of them. There's such a huge number of brilliant artists to come from Western Sydney. So it's big, it's been there for a long time, and it's diverse. These are the reasons why I cautioned David to refine his scope and not to bite off more than he can chew. I think he chewed pretty well.